strange as it might sound, but you harken back to the 2018 season opener. There's a lot of comparisons between being made you and Lamar, and the fact that both of you took the field at the same time and made your debuts. Do you even recall that and think about how far you've come since then?
Yeah, obviously, I remember the home opener last year, and we got our butts whooped that game, and I remember the rain coming down and it being a pretty messy game. But I remember watching Lamar go out there a few times and make some plays, and it's just kind of surreal to now be in the position that I'm in, and I feel night and day from as far as football perspective, knowledge of the game, knowledge of my own offense. But that was one of those moments I got to learn from. It was really cool.
How good is for you as a quarterback, obviously, but when you see him, what he's doing, executing that offense, what are your impressions?
I mean, it's hard to describe. It's fun to watch. It's very hard to describe what they do on offense. They run the ball so effectively. Lamar, as a passer, can make every throw. It's tough to stop, and I'm gonna hate watching it from our sideline, but it's fun to watch from an outside perspective for sure, because they can do so many different things. But at the same time, like our offensive side has to focus on ourselves and what their defense does and how we're playing them, how we go out there and execute, and trust that our defense is going to go out there and play a heck of a game.
Josh, you mentioned feeling like night and day, going back to the last year's season opener. When you look at how much has changed here, particularly offensively for you, does that feel like even like a longer time ago than it really was when you think back to that game?
Probably. As far as what we're doing on offense, who we have on offense, we have maybe two guys, myself included, that were on that offense that played in that game last year. So I know not many people really know what happened last year or how that might affect how they feel, but we're focusing on going 1-0 this week, and it's no small task with the team that we're going to play.
Can you just elaborate a little bit on what you said earlier about just feeling so much more ready now, and just how far you've come in this offense in your career to this point from where you were that day?
Yeah, I definitely know that I'm not anywhere where I want to be, but as far as getting my routine down, having a year of experience under my belt, seeing certain defenses, having the rapport that I do with Coach Dable, kind of taking a leadership role for this team, I think those are some of the differences that kind of separate this year from last year. And and then you look in our locker room, the guys that we have in here, we got a bunch of really, really great dudes that I wouldn't trade for anybody.
Pushing that answer, Josh, like the last 3 games, what has clicked for you and maybe the offense?
I think we're just going out there. We know our jobs. We know what we need to execute. We're doing a good job of going out there and getting it done. Our 5 guys up front are blocking extremely well. Our guys are making some plays. We're running the ball very effectively. That's really what it comes down to, is execution and making smart decisions on my end. And I definitely believe that the quarterback's job is to help move the ball and score points when needed. And we've been doing a good job with that. But it takes 11 guys, and like I said, this defense that we're playing, they're extremely good. They're extremely fast. They're very tough. They do a lot of different things that we've got to be prepared for. And then even in the in-game situations where if they bring something, we got to be ready and stick to our rules and understand what they're going to try to do defensively. But it's going to be a 4-quarter fight for sure.
How much of a blur was that? That just, if you can even recall, you getting tapped on the shoulder perhaps and saying, "You're in, Rook."
Yeah, it seems like so long ago, and I really can't describe it. Obviously, it was my first NFL game of real season, real game action. We were down a lot, but I still remember going out there and just trying to make plays for my team. And really, nothing's really changed in that aspect.
What do you think about their amount of heat they bring, and how much is that going to challenge your protections?
No, it's going to be a mind game for sure. Making sure that I give the right mic points, that our whole line knows who to go to, what type of calls we're giving. If I don't make it right with the protection, I got to understand where my answers are and how they mask that up in the back end, and how they try to kind of trick you to do some things. So, it's going to be a very mentally and physically exhausting game with these guys, because, like I said, they're playing lights out right now, and they're coming into our house, and they're going to come in here to try to take what we want, and we got to, like I said, we got to go do a good job of executing.
Josh, when you look at their secondary, what do you think is the greatest challenge looking at their DBs?
Well, they're a very veteran-heavy group. A guy like Earl Thomas, who plays fantastic, tries to bait you into doing a lot of different things, and he's very smart when he's back there, how he kind of tricks you to do some things. The guy that they traded for recently, Peters, and he's playing lights out. Jimmy Smith, a bigger guy that can lock onto you, and like I said, they're veterans in the back end, and they're all playing on the same page right now. And when you got guys doing that, if you look at our side, we got some older guys that know what to do and how to trick guys into doing things. So they're playing really well. They're meshing well together, and it comes down to me making some good decisions.
Do you think, Coach?
You mentioned seeing defenses as a thing that's really changed since you first started. You're asked to do a lot when it comes to calling out protections and everything. What was the most difficult part of learning that part of the game?
Going back to last year, I think the most difficult part was learning protections and then still trying to understand the concepts that were masked with it and understanding where your answers were if you messed up. And I think this year, especially in the offseason, bringing in Coach Dorsey and having Matt in the room and what Coach Dable has taught us, I think that's where it's kind of night and day for me as far as knowing where my answers are if I'm not right in the protection end.
Hey Josh, the last.
I think it's helped, but like I said, it doesn't matter if we do that every game or no games. I got to go out there. I got to make the right decision, call the right mic, and understand our protections that way too.
Hey Josh, 4 games in a row now. Thanksgiving, biggest 1 o'clock game of the week, a Sunday nighter, a Saturday night. What does that say about where this team, where this franchise has come, just in this year, that you're in this type of prime time type window?
Yeah, it put us in a position where, what we wanted to do was put ourselves in position to make the playoffs. And sitting at 9-3, we do have a really good opportunity in front of us. And I think everybody on this team knows that, but there's still a lot of work to be done. We don't really care about the spotlight or any of these primetime games, but I guess it's flattering to know that they're kind of putting us in these windows now. But as a team, we don't care. We're still trying to go 1-0 each week and go out there and game plan and prepare like any other week.
Does it feel like a reward though, like for all of the work you've done to be?
Personally, not for me. Yeah.
How much, harken back to that, the struggles after the Cleveland game, and you stood at this podium and talked about how Sean had the message of being fearless. How reinforcing was that message? Because this team seems to have taken on a new fearless, and it has played fearless on both sides of the ball since then. How reinforcing was that message? How important was that message?
I think it was very important, and for Coach to kind of give us a green light to go out there and just go and play carefree football and not worry about making a mistake, but more worried about making a play. And I think that's when you guys kind of saw some changes with this offense and what this defense was capable of doing. And we're going to continue to kind of have that same mindset. Obviously, we want to be smart with the football and smart on defense when we do certain things, but when situations arise and we're called on to make plays, we're not going to be afraid to go out there and try to make some plays.
Given how good their defensive secondary is, it's true every week, but this week especially, how important is it to get Devin involved and stay balanced?
Yeah, absolutely. Getting the run game going early. I think that's crucial for any team at any game. But like you said, with how good this group is, yards and points are at a premium, so we got to go out there, we got to execute, and when the chances show themselves, we got to go out there and execute and take advantage of those opportunities.
With you and Lamar both being mobile, why is that so important for a young quarterback in today's NFL to be able to shift around like that?
Well, I think the guys on defense are getting a little bigger and faster as well. They're getting longer on the end. So for guys to kind of be out there and make some moves and extend the pocket and extend the play and try to find someone downfield, I think it just adds another added element that defenses have to worry about that maybe with a prototypical pocket quarterback don't vise that threat where they can get out and make plays. So it's just an extra thing that defenses have to worry about.
How much did you follow Lamar during his maybe at college, maybe during his Heisman season, or were you aware of him? How aware? How
Heisman
aware?
winner for sure.
Yes,
yeah.
How aware were you of him, and can you appreciate that? You two are like ahead of this class right now.
It's a funny story. Going back to junior college, I played with a guy named Angelo Owens, and he was cousins with Lamar. And I remember watching Vine of Lamar in high school when he kind of stops and points at the guy, and I remember watching that with my buddy, and and then going through college and watching him in Louisville, all the primetime games that he got and how many plays he was making. I think it was against Syracuse when he jumped over the guy. I remember watching that live and seeing that. But, you know, it's been fun. Obviously, he's an explosive player. He's an amazing talent. But not even that, off the field, he's a great human being. And I got to spend some time with him, you know, pre-draft and last year after the season a little bit. And just one of those guys that you want to root for, and he's doing some amazing things right now.
Can you appreciate how different paths you took? I mean, this guy's on Vine. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. He's got all the spotlight on him, and you're coming out of Fireball. Fresno's not even looking at you.
Yeah, but, I mean, still, Lamar wasn't anointed the guy until he went out there and started making some plays. Everybody had their doubts about him, and he's gone and he's proved everybody wrong. And, you know, being a guy that's kind of like had that situation where guys want to doubt you, and to go see him do what he's been doing and just kind of proving everybody wrong, it's been awesome to watch.
How do you avoid
Two more, guys.
that deep breath? Because the narrative on you has changed quite a bit in the last 5 weeks. How do you avoid that deep breath where it's like, okay, I'm finally where I want to be?
I'm not where I want to be, for sure. And I don't care what anybody else says and what they think or their opinion on me. I'm very self-driven, internally driven. I know what needs to be done. I know what I need to do to continue to get better. But I've got a lot of help that I've had along the way, and I'm still going to need a lot of help going forward. And I know that. And like I said, trusting on the guys in this locker room, on this coaching staff, and understanding that it is a process, and nothing's going to happen overnight. So we got to keep working.
Josh, externally,
Last one.
you know, the way you guys handled the spotlight issue on Thanksgiving Day, a lot of people have taken note of that locally, nationally, that sort of thing. From an internal standpoint, what is it about this team that allows it to, you know, kind of flourish in more respect as to this point?
Yeah, I think we're just focused on one thing, and that's winning football games. Nobody's worried about stats and this and we just want to win. We just want to win football games, and I think everybody's got a collective effort and a collective thought in there that we've been doubted, and we know that, and people see it. You know, you see it every time you go on Twitter and Instagram, and but none of that really matters. You know, when you go out there and play a game, it's football. It's 11 on 11, and I love the guys that we send out in the field. I love the guys in this locker room, and we're going to continue to play for each other that way.